Greetings, my name is Chamomile, and this is an exploration of the entire galaxy sector by sector. Today we're looking at Dantus Sector, an 8th Bright Jewel command of the new territories of the Outer Rim. Dantus Sector was deep Imperial territory in the Galactic Civil War and remains in deep Imperial Remnant territory to this day. It's home to several prisons and penal colonies like Dotamo Prison on planet Dontamo, a notorious slave prison that works its prisoners to death within a few years, and Heradan, an old penal colony from the Republic days that became independent, don't worry about how, and became a borderline lawless world as the former prisoners and their descendants gained more and more influence on the planet. Spalex was a planet the Empire mostly left alone, but which the Imperial Remnant and later the First Order took a more and more heavy-handed approach to during the run-up to their war with the New Republic. Black Squadron got sent to spy on the First Order there, and that mission was a debacle, but ultimately it was 4 pilots spying on a minor planet, so it didn't make a huge difference to the war. Back in the Galactic Civil War, the Imperials developed the TIE Phantom project in Dantus Sector, one of many efforts to create a super TIE that would outcompete the X-Wing, which got funded after the Battle of Yavin, when it suddenly became inescapable that the X-Wing was way better than the TIE Fighter, and that Star Destroyers being then uncontested as capital ships didn't really matter, since they were about as incapable of hitting X-Wings as X-Wings were of blowing up a Star Destroyer. Like most attempts at a super TIE, it was a stupid boondoggle chasing theoretical tech that sounded cool but probably wouldn't pan out. The TIE Phantom was supposed to be a cloaked starfighter made using the Stygium that the Sith Empire mined out of 8 and 2 over in Wild Space, but it turns out that 8 and 2 is really actually no joke out of Stygium. Some number of TIE Phantoms were made, but they either ran out of Stygium immediately or, as I suspect, never had any to begin with, and the guy in charge was lying to the Emperor to stave off execution. The TIE Phantoms were first deployed in orbit above the swamp planet of Drayton, ambushing a Corellian Corvette escorted by Rascal Squadron. Rascal Squadron and the Corvette were taken off guard and went down. The rebels regrouped on the planet and escaped to meet up with the rest of the fleet, where Admiral Akbar deployed them to track down the TIE Phantom project through the Aura asteroid belt, where asteroid bases were mining Iridium and Beryllium, and you'll notice that neither of those is Stygium, the stuff that can actually cloak ships. Rascal Squadron tracked the project down to its production facility on Imdar Alpha, where 2 pilots from Rascal Squadron infiltrated the facility, stole a TIE Phantom, and escaped, blowing up the entirety of the first batch. Despite the daring of the raid, the TIE Phantom's remote self-destruct was activated before the rebels could examine the technology closely. The TIE Phantom went on to be used to great effect in exactly 0 battles of the Galactic Civil War. None were ever recovered by Rebel or later New Republic forces, so we're not totally clear on what its defect was, but the Empire just never used them in significant numbers. My guess? They just didn't work properly. The rebels were shook by the Battle of Drayton, but the Imperials didn't need a new superweapon to shoot down 1 Corvette, and the cloaking might have been barely functional and still could have been pretty alarming through the fog of war. Alarming, but not especially more effective than a TIE fighter for the premium the Empire was paying for it. That's all speculation. It's also possible that every last trace of Stygium they were able to get their hands on was used in that first batch, which the rebels blew up. But the Phantom never posed the threat to the rebels that the Interceptor or the Defender did, so something was wrong with it.